poetry, you want to say your last line, deliver it to your last line, and everyone like break into applause. And other times you want to deliver your last line and have the audience be completely silent. And I can see you delivering this and just everyone being completely silent, not because they didn't like it, just because it's like so, like, mind-blowing and just scary, and you
and it's like we're processing it at the end.
Like,
we're constantly, we're wrapped around
so
it.
One of the things I love about Writopia is that you get to find this community of writers. That writing in itself is sort of an isolating thing because you have to do it alone, and because you're always with your characters by yourself in your own stories and plays and poems and whatever you're writing. But that Writopia, especially for young writers, gives you this community with whom you can share and talk about and criticize, sort of communicate with, that writing seems to be the art that is most isolating, and that Writopia completely gets rid of that. And that's really amazing.
Go watch it. No. It's perfect.
You know, when it comes to the text, because you've already typed it, all as an editor that I need are where the balloons are.
Oh, okay.
So, if you look at...
But is it possible it's not going to be in a balloon? Wait, what do I can't just like say narration?
If it's narration, here you go. This Bill did a lot of narration. It's just a square that floats above the action.
Can it be below?
It can be, yeah, you tell, that's what the artist does. The artist says where they want the balloons, where they want the narration boxes to go. You control all that. It's almost like being a film director. You say where everything's going to go. But you don't need to go actually write out, because you've already done it. And you're going to email that to me, and I'll just scrape it and drop it into the blue line. Okay? So it'll save you a lot of time.
Okay.
I think Writopia is so amazing, and it's so much fun working with the kids and working with all the teachers, because everyone, it's so open. Everyone genuinely like wants everyone else to succeed and to help everybody else, and it's like I've been at one end of that, and it's so amazing to be able to try and give that to the kids.
Everyone wants to play, we start kickball in 2 minutes, okay?
This is called Character Conflict Kickball. There are 2 teams. We have our playwriting and performance team over here. Can we hear it? Yeah. And we have the fiction and fun team up at bat. And what we're gonna do is it's like kickball. We're gonna pitch, they're gonna hit and try to get some home runs. But in the process, they are gonna build stories. And if they get on base, something really good happens to the character and they get closer to the character's goal. But if they get an out, something bad happens to the character that's a hindrance from them getting their goal.
Play-Miners rock!
Everybody? Defense, you ready?
A union worker trying to get a better salary. Go Simone! Run! Run, Simone!
Right here!
Run to first! Run to first!
That's safe! Not on my feet! Woo! You did it! First She finds out that a guy is holding a smuggling ring in Turkey, and she knows how to stop it.
Yes.
That was your goal.
I feel like Writopia has helped me a lot, because before, like, I had no idea what to write, and now you just get to write whatever you want, and the teacher doesn't have to tell you what to do. You can just write whatever you want. I like Writopia because you can express your feelings in the books that you write, and like you're allowed to write whatever you want. And then like in the afternoon you could do like anything you want. Like you could do graphic novels or songwriting.
Got smeared on a baseball net. Now I could only count to 7. Some of me wanted to run there.
I love it.
Bittersweet and a stinky, stinky, stinky feet. I make friends and enemies with everyone I meet. Sometimes I'm honest, and sometimes I cheat. That's what makes me bittersweet.
have about 60,000 volumes of poetry. This is a really, really nice introduction to the sort of breadth and depth of poetry that's being published right now. So there's a lot of different stuff. Do you want to have a few more minutes to just take a look at this? Okay, sure.
And I picked some flowers, which they probably didn't want me to do, but that's okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass them around, and I want you to, obviously be gentle. There's also a little pine cone here. I want you to, you can choose one or you can use more than one, but pass it around. I want you to just really use all of your senses, and you can smell it and you can feel it, and obviously you're gonna be looking at it. And then using one of those senses, I want you to bring it back to a personal experience.
Strains of music waft through the open air, leaving traces on all that it touches. Moisture dances with the notes, bringing out the smell of the evening. Stories told wordlessly, leaving listeners speechless. The earth smells of rain, lavender, collected sunlight, as the sky grows darker and the air grows colder.
Beautiful.
Okay, you're not being ethical.
This is a play written by the delightful Olivia.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, and we're going to be performing it. So this is the first cold reading so that we can get it down and know what we're supposed to be doing.
I know you address her sometimes. The way I want her to feel is more of I feel for you, I understand what's happening, and you're kind of trying to think of the word, soothe her, I guess, in a way. So when she talks about the two girls which she's friends with, Poppy and Shanna, you can kind of be like, oh yeah, they're nice girls, sympathize, be like, oh, it's fine, she's fine, because obviously you're like a nervous wreck. How about you guys just go ahead and start that from the top, and I'll stop you if I need it.
I have done Writopia during the school year for 2 years. This is my first time doing Writopia as a camp. I write stories and plays, and I've also written a bit of memoir. And before I came to Writopia, I did poetry because that was the only thing that I could really execute on my own at age 8. And now I feel like I can write whatever I want, and I can put my name on it and be a writer.
Is it wrong to lie to your children every day, even if it is for their own good? My name is Sarah. I'm going to turn 16 in a couple months. This is my first Writopia camp. I just came across it and it seemed pretty interesting, and I've always written poetry. I've been in many poetry slams, and I like creative writing, so I decided why not. And being here, it's been really fun so far, and I've got a lot of writing done, so I think it's really productive, and it's also fun at the same time.
I've learned a lot of really valuable things at Writopia, and it's been great for me because I don't have an opportunity to write every day, and this kind of gives me that time and that space to get a lot of productive work done. So I love coming here because it gives me a reason to get things down on paper.
When you have a main character and you're writing the story from that person's point of view, you don't, as a reader, know anything more than that person knows. What's the point of this long introduction?
Right. So I think you're sort of establishing the world for yourself right now, and we can always go back and cut because you're kind of easing your way into the story. So it's very true that we should always start a story closest to the action, the meat of the story, and the meat of the story is going to be that these people are disappearing, right?
I think what's really nice about Writopia is that you get to put a lot into your story, and you get to put a lot of yourself into your story. And I think that in some ways, the writing that we do here is therapeutic because you get to work through whatever problems you're having in your own life through your fiction, and your characters can have pieces of yourself. And so you really get yourself out there, in like a really welcoming, like safe environment.
Mikey said, frickin' Mikey, he was only 10 years old. He was only 10. But you were 16, Sid. 16 and strong. You played football, Sid, you were strong. But you feared those cops that came to the park. You feared those cops, those crooked cops that came and killed Mikey. They thought he was with the drug gang, like you were, Sid. He tried to fight back, but they beat him. They beat him to the ground and then shot him. 5 times, Sid. 5 times in the flippin' head.
Hello, Your Highness. Welcome to Carlisle. I'm dreadfully sorry about not being able to come to the door. Something like that will never happen again, I assure you.
Well, I hope not. Now, where is the dining room? I'm quite hungry, so I hope your cook has prepared a good meal.
If you would just follow me upstairs.
Oh.
I like Writopia because you get to write all your stories and then you learn how like you can fix the story and then like you get compliments on what was good, so you feel good about your story, and then also you can make your story. You get to make your story better, and it's fun like meeting new kids and reading their stories.
The expression, right?
This sort of like
yeah, it's really intense. So you can do that in your graphic novels. You can play with size, right? When you make something really small, and when you make something really big, they can have different impacts.
So like if you're having 2 monsters chasing each other, but like one's like here and one's like here, but they're both the same size, but you're just sort of like using can we use like illusions to make things look bigger?
That's like playing with distance, but you can also just play with size in general.
Also remember, when you're in an audition, every moment that you're in front of the director or the casting director or the producer or anyone on the production team, all right? We talked about the production team yesterday, the producer, the stage manager, the director, the designers, anyone on the production team. When you're in front of them, every second you're in the audition.
I've been going to Writopia for 4 years and working here for 2. It's amazing to see what the kids can do. It's the most open environment for writing that I've ever been in. It's just amazing to see how free the kids are here and how much they feel like they can talk about, how much you can help them and how much you can let them write by themselves. And I'm just so proud of every kid that I've ever worked with.
This is what was a home to share. We used to live side by side with none of us, but now I'm not being fair, being fair. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
And by the way, this song was entirely written by the students and the music also together in collaboration. So it's really